Okay, so I'm in the tin shed on a rainy, damp morning in January in County Down, Northern Ireland, and I'm just preparing a soundboard for a Bouzouki, and I'm making it out of 4 pieces of pitch pine. I've used this before and makes a lovely sounding Bouzouki. I was going to use some spruce which I bought, but I decided to keep this for guitars. I had a Bouzouki back in at the weekend that was sold and then passed on to somebody else, and he asked me to do a fret level, and I did a few maintenance jobs to it, set all the action up, and he's raving about his Bouzouki, thinks the tone is lovely, so I'm using, that's why I thought I'd use this wood again. I had a lump of it and I've cut several pieces out of it, so I have enough for another Bouzouki at least. It's nicely quarter sawn, which is what they usually say is a good idea. So I'm just going to show you how I prepare these. I've already planed the edges and they fit together reasonably well. You want to try and get it so that there isn't light showing through the joints. You usually get them, the pieces of wood, and give them a rub together just to polish them up and make them fit nice and tightly. And then I have this flat board here, which is an old piece of kitchen unit door, and I put some screws in a straight line along this side. I've got screw holes from a previous time. And one in the middle. Melamine's good because the glue doesn't really stick to it. And then I draw a line down the other edge, several lines there now. Right, so, and then I put 3 screws in this side, but just about 1/8 of an inch or so, just in front of the line. So a bit tighter, a bit narrower than the actual width of the 4 boards. Now you can make a soundboard out of 2 pieces, 3 pieces, just because this was the width of the wood I had, 5 inches. It doesn't make any difference. And once they're glued together, it's all one board. So what we do is when we glue this up, because they don't quite fit in there now, we just raise them up like that, and then once it's glued we just squeeze that down flat and put some weight on it, and that goes down flat and that clamps all the joints together nice and tightly. You see how it springs up in the middle because it doesn't want to stay in there, it's squashed together, but that will stay when we put some weight on it. So that's a simple way of clamping them. I had another method. I've got a jig that I rigged up with bars, screw rods and all that, and I use that as well sometimes, but this is simple and efficient. So Tight Bond original woodwork glue is what I use. It's recommended by lots of luthiers. And lots of luthiers will say you must use hide glue, which you can use, that's good as well, but it's old-fashioned stuff. That this is the more modern stuff, and probably in the days when hide glue was all you could get, that's why they used it on old instruments. But if they had this stuff, I'm sure they'd use this. So nice thin bead of glue down the edge. If you've got a steady hand, you could do it quicker than this. Finger run down to just to even it out. So that goes up against the screws. The other one up against it. Give it a little wiggle backwards and forwards. And do the next one. Now the glue joint turns out to be stronger than the wood itself. You know, if a piece of wood is going to break, it won't break on the glue. It breaks beside it, but not on it. The glue joint stays together. So you don't have to worry about, oh, it's all glued together, it'll be very weak. It's actually stronger than the wood itself. So the last one, so raise this up a bit. Now before I press that down, I want to get my weights soldered. I have a big lump of wood here. I'll put on top of that. Boxes of clamps and things which I'll just put on the top. So to press that down, now there's this click that's gone down on it. Just a little bit cockeyed at the end there. There. So that's all down flat now. And that is it. We'll just leave that to dry for several hours. That's the job done. So that's today's tip from the tin shed. Hope you enjoyed it.